Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into two of the most powerful, most universal phrases in any language. Thank you, and I'm sorry. We're going to look at how they're used not just in English, but in Thai too, to really see how culture shapes these simple but oh so crucial words.
So, have you ever been in that situation? You're in another country, you know the word you're supposed to say, but it just doesn't feel right. That's because saying thank you and sorry is about so much more than just a direct translation. It's about getting the social cues, understanding the context behind the words.
So why are we focusing on just these two little phrases? Well, because they are essentially the fundamental tools for building good relationships and showing respect. It doesn't matter where you are on the planet. These are your starting blocks.
And the thing is, getting these right isn't just about being polite. It actually makes all of your interactions smoother, way more positive, and just more effective. It's a signal that you're paying attention and you respect the person you're talking to.
Okay, let's dive into our first one, gratitude. There are just so many ways to say thank you, right? And each one carries a slightly different weight. It can be anything from a casual nod to a really deep expression of appreciation.
All right, let's start with the basics, your everyday go-tos. In English, you've got thank you or the even more casual thanks. Simple. The Thai equivalent, khop khon, is often done with a respectful gesture called the Y. And then, of course, you've got those regional super informal options like cheers, which you'll hear all the time if you're in the UK or Australia.
But what about those times when a simple thanks just doesn't feel like enough? When someone has really gone out of their way for you, you need something with a little more punch.
And this is where you can easily add some real weight. Thank you very much is direct, it's strong, but a phrase like, I really appreciate it, well, that adds a personal touch. It shows the person that what they did had a genuine, positive impact on you.
Now, if you want to make your gratitude feel even more meaningful, here's a great tip. Mention what you're thankful for. Being specific shows you are actually paying attention and that you really value what that person did.
This is a perfect example. Instead of just a generic thanks, saying thank you for your help makes it crystal clear why you're grateful. It just makes the whole sentiment feel more sincere, more complete.
Okay, let's flip the script. Someone just thanked you. What's the best way to respond? Because, this is just as important for keeping that positive vibe going in the conversation.
You're welcome is the classic, right? It's the polite standard, but check out the other options. No problem and anytime feel a bit more casual, more like, hey, it was no big deal. But then you have something like my pleasure, which suggests you genuinely enjoyed helping. It can feel a lot warmer in certain situations.
All right, let's switch gears and tackle apologies. Now, this is a tricky one because sorry isn't just one phrase. It's more like a whole toolkit for different situations, from tiny little social bumps to, admitting you made a serious mistake.
Excuse me. And this is important. This isn't really an apology, it's more of a social tool you use to navigate a space or get someone's attention. Think of it as a little heads up to smooth over a minor interruption before it even happens. Next, we have the big one. I'm sorry. This is your standard, sincere go-to for when you've actually messed up. It works for pretty much everything, from bumping into someone to showing sympathy. It's super versatile, and it's universally understood as you taking responsibility. And for those more serious situations, you've got, I apologize. This phrase definitely carries more weight. It's more formal, and you'll often hear it in professional settings where you need to clearly and seriously own up to a pretty significant error.
So how do all these phrases actually work in a real back and forth? Let's look at a couple of quick examples to see how it all flows together naturally.
Okay, first scenario. Imagine someone has just gotten some help that they really needed. How do they say thanks in a way that sounds truly genuine? See what they did there? They combined two phrases we just looked at. Thank you for your help is nice and specific, and then adding I really appreciate it just layers on that sincere, personal gratitude. It's a great combo.
And the response is just perfect. You're welcome is the polite default, but adding anytime, that makes it so warm and friendly. It basically says, I'd be happy to help you again. It really strengthens that social connection.
Okay, next up, a situation we've all been in. You accidentally bump into someone. You don't need a huge formal apology here, right? Just a quick and clear acknowledgement. That oops immediately signals it was an accident, and I'm sorry is the quick, appropriate apology. It's simple, it's fast, and it's exactly what the moment calls for.
And look at this reply. It's all about reassurance. That's okay, and don't worry about it. Instantly diffuse any awkwardness. And that is such a crucial part of the exchange. Gracefully accepting the apology and moving on is just as important as giving it. It signals that everything's cool, social harmony restored.
So, after looking at all these little nuances and examples, what's the big picture? What's the one thing you should really walk away with from all of this? This is it, right here. The real power of thank you and I'm sorry isn't just about following social rules. It's about consciously using them to build connections, to show respect, and to create stronger, more positive relationships with everyone around you.
So, here's a little challenge for you this week. Think about it. Is there a moment where you can use a more specific thank you, or maybe a warmer, more thoughtful response? You'd be surprised. The right words at just the right time can make all the difference. Thanks for tuning in.